8 months in office, and I could say at this point, I think the City of Utica is pointed in the right direction. A lot of good things have happened. Obviously, we've gone through some difficult times financially. We're getting our financial house in order, and the good things that are happening at this point, we've had two, which I would pinpoint as very important parts of my campaign. The Bossert sites and the Harza building. We were very hard fast to market those areas, and I could say at this point, looking at the audience out there and the citizens of Utica, we are at this point pleased to announce that we have just sold the Harza building to Mr. Tom Clark, and the beautiful thing about that is Tom is obviously, as we all know, is a vested downtown employer, but more importantly, he has passion for the city. He has the same vision that I have. He believes in the downtown area, and I think you're going to see some great things happening now that Tom Clark has purchased the Harza building. You'll see that as a catalyst for downtown. We've talked about the Bossert sites for over 10 years, over a decade. That's been brownfield. That's a problem source that we've talked about. It stands in West Utica in a very depressed type of look, and I'm happy to say that at this point we will have development in there as soon as September. We will have jobs that will be created over there. We will have a new facility, United Auto Supply. Jim Rinaldi is excited about coming to Utica. We are going to have an outstanding Nice and Easy, which is going to be the state-of-the-art, probably one of the largest Nice and Easy's. That will be a grocery store in the West Utica area. It'll be jobs, it'll be excitement, it'll be development in the West Utica area, which not only helps West Utica overall, it helps the city of Utica for jobs and the perception of Utica is open for business now. People sometimes get very frustrated because they hear the same thing over and over again. We're projecting we're going to be selling this, we're going to be doing that, and in 8 months we sold two of, I would say, the albatrosses that everybody's talked about for years, and we've sold them. In 8 months, that's a fairly good mark for this administration. My hat goes off to a number of different people: Mohawk Valley Edge, Utica Development Corporation, UIDCA. It just, everyone was a team effort bringing this together, and that's something that this administration has said it will do, and it will do. It's working with everyone to make something beneficial for the city of Utica. In order to correct what's out there, you have to feel it, you have to see it, you have to touch it. Going on in the streets at this point, I am able to go out there with my team of my department heads to reach out to the people and say there is hope. We care about you. We want to interact with you. You are my consumer. Any complaints you have, we're there. We got the fire chief, the police chief, urban and economic development, the codes. We're all out there to listen to what your concerns are. And more importantly is we're here to tell you where our direction is, what things that we feel that are important to not only the community, but this entire region. Here's what we do. I mean, if someone's not compliant, there is a process that we go through. There's a notice and order that goes out. You have a duration of time to comply with that. If you do not comply with that, obviously you end up in court. If we continue to go to the same resident over and over again, and it could be loud music, it could be drugs, it could be violence, whatever, we have a law in the books called nuisance abatement. And at that time, we will bring them in along with the landlords to let them know, you know, we're willing to work with you, but we are not going to go along with having the police there 4 or 5 times a day, 20 times a month. It just is not productive for the Utica Police Department. If they don't comply, unfortunately, the law is that we could shut the building down for up to 1 year. Let us know and just make sure you keep it clean and safe. You got any problems, contact us. You got codes here, you got economic development here. I guess what we're telling the people at this point, take pride in your city. It's a great place. You have to comply. We are out there to help you, but we are not going to allow one resident, one home to destroy a neighborhood. And this administration cares about every street, every home that's out there. We are going to change the complexion of what people have said about Utica and where we're going. Utica starts with you. It's as simple as that. The logo may be simplistic, but that's what it really means. It starts with you. We'll give you what we got.
That's right.
As long as you give me what you've got, I mean, we're all set. That's all.
We're always real.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we can do. We'll work together and we'll conquer it.
I think anyone who knows the mayor personally knows he's not a grandstander. I mean, he's someone who wants to roll up his sleeves and get to action, and I appreciate that in him. This is something that's been ignored for a long time in Utica, and I'm glad that we have a mayor who's now looking into these issues and getting on the streets and talking to community members and businesses, and hopefully we'll see some turnaround. Utica's a great place to live, and he's trying to make it an even better place, and I'm glad to work with him.
The mayor's going around letting people know that the city wants to be helpful and will engage and help where they can. But as individuals in the community, it's our community, and we all have to step up. We all have to take a part in taking care of our own home, our own property, and even the public property around us. So I think it's so important that we as citizens of our community have a sense of pride and love for our community, and that we get involved. And so I credit the mayor and City Hall for trying to set the example and letting people know that the city will do its part, but the citizens need to join in that effort.
I think they're working. From what I hear from community members is they appreciate the sweeps. It's a quality of life issue. Quality of life is something that the mayor's wanted to tackle, and I'm happy they reached out to our office today to do it with them. I think a lot of times you'll see, people are afraid to go to City Hall or call their state representative to talk about issues. We're going to them today. We've had a lot of good interaction with business owners and citizens on the street, and I'm happy to learn their issues and work on them in the assembly.
8 months has been, it seems like an eternity at this point. It seems like it's been a long, long road. I mean, let's honest, we started out with a $7.5 million deficit. We had to lay off people, we had to raise taxes. But these are the difficult decisions that had to be made in order to get us back on the right foot and right direction that we are. I'm very excited about the path and where we're going to be going in Utica. I think people are starting to grab on that there is an opportunity here. We have our work cut out for us, and it's going to be a challenge. But I love challenges. In the city of Utica, as you know, when it comes to difficult times, we are a community that comes together, and that's what I'm trying to do, is bring everyone together to, at this point, as a family, to grow. At this time, we talked about the Bozarts, we talked about the Harza building. We know what's happening over on Varick Street. We know what's happening down on Bag Square. It's time to take a look at downtown Genesee Street, and it's time for a change. We'll be reporting in a very short period of time what I hope to be very pleasing and exciting news about what we see and what we envision in downtown Utica on Genesee Street.